What's good, people? Being here. Got my Brody, the Hawks family, man. Had to do it part two, man. Part two. No doubt.
How you doing
I'll
today,
get
man?
popping. I'm doing well, man. Enjoying this sunny day. I'm in Nashville right now, so right now it's sunny. Going
Yeah, the
sunny.
sun's still coming up for me. It's early.
We're about to get things started. Let y'all come in here, get those notifications popping. Share this stream on Twitter. Uh, y'all make sure when y'all come in, you hit that like button, man. Y'all go into the Hawks family and subscribe to his channel too, man. One of the best young up and coming Seahawks content creators on the platform.
Appreciate that.
Okay, we sound good. We sound good.
So, did you see you seen the game of the Raiders versus the Jets, correct?
Oh yeah, that's a classic. That's a classic, bro.
Yeah.
That is tanking at its finest. That is the definition of tanking. I mean, I really watched that game and I was like, he just really called it engage it on the last play of the game.
I know that was insane, bro. Like like, do you know how crushing that would have to be like an NFL player? You haven't won a single game, and like you're finally gonna win a game, and your coach calls zero blitz. Like, what would run through your mind as a linebacker?
Well, the funny part is though, is it really Greg Williams' fault? Like, he got word from the office to lose that game. He got Adam Gase. Adam Gase was told to lose that game. Nobody can tell me otherwise.
Yeah, no, that
Like Joe Douglas and like the ownership made sure that they would lose that game. All
you think
right,
they're gonna go
so
for Trevor Lawrence?
oh yeah, they definitely get Trevor Lawrence. Listen, Trevor Lawrence got no choice unless he's going to stay in Clemson for another year. I'm not sure if Trevor Lawrence is a senior or not because like I don't watch college football like that, but I want to say he's a senior. So
Right, right,
yeah,
right, right.
I
I'm
don't think
not
he
too
can
sure.
pull a pick. Yeah, I don't think he can pull a Peyton Manning. Shout out Peyton Manning. He
Yeah,
had a
yep.
choice
I
to
was
be
just
a
watching
Jet.
him. I was just watching his SPs, on YouTube, waiting for this. So, hey, shout
yeah,
out to Peyton.
he had a choice of being a Jet or staying another year in Tennessee. He stayed another year in Tennessee.
Hey, I mean, I
Shout out
would
Peyton.
too. I would want to go to the
Facts.
Jets. Adam Gase is he's not the way, bro.
Yeah, the Jets are a joke. We good to go. We ready to rock. Shout out to Drew Garcia. I know if you are gonna hop in the building, hop in the stream. Y'all make sure you hit that like button. Y'all make sure y'all share the stream out as well. Who will get the number one pick of the Jags then win the Colts game? I don't know. That is fascinating because I don't think the Jags play the Jets this year. 'Cause, yeah, we never had two 0-16 teams, right? Because 2017 it was the Browns, right? Because the Browns were 0-16 2017.
There's only been 5 teams to go a single season without winning a
I think
game.
I think the Lions went. Was it 2008?
Cowboys, the Ravens,
Yeah, I think
Browns.
it was. Yeah. So yeah, we never had two teams finish 0-16, but the Jaguars should have went 0-16. I'm still like disgusted that Phillip Rivers lost to the Jaguars. Like that still irks me. Okay. Let's just go ahead and jump into things, man. You feel any better about this Seahawks loss, man? You feel any better about it
All
on
right.
Wednesday?
So I feel 10 times better about this loss after watching what happened to what happened to the football team. They beat the Steelers. Man, that was crazy. Shout out to Alex Smith though. Alex Smith is a beast. I do feel better about this loss because I've been doing some research on it, and the New York Giants defense is it's so underrated. But that defense is it's scary, man. And then I've been looking at pros and cons. I've been looking at our defense. I did say we were going to let up 15 points, which we did, which is not like terrible. But our offense, we're not going to win games with this offense. It just shows that Russell Wilson has to start doing more in his part, and he has to actually stop trying to put the game in his hands and let the run game take over. Because we're not trying to get these MVPs. We're not trying to get these these awards in the regular season. We're trying to get this bowl, bro. I'm trying to bring a chip to my my stadium. That's what I want to see. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Oh yeah, listen, man. I feel you. Can I say that I feel better about the loss? Not really, but it's reasonable. And the reason why I say it's reasonable because the Giants' defense is hell. Like we both agree on that. That Giants' defense is hell. Anything you can say about that Giants team, Joe Judge is that defense playing hard. So I get it from that standpoint. My thing is, I just expect Russell Wilson to score more than 12 points. When your defense plays that well, I expect Russell Wilson to go out and win the game.
He didn't even score 12 points.
Yeah, 10 points. Really 7.
Exactly.
Trying to do too much. But I will say this. I've been thinking about it ever since, pretty much since yesterday. And you know what? I will say this. I'd much rather see the offense struggling at this point than see the defense continue to struggle. While we'll take from this for like the past month, since the offense and Russell Wilson's been in a slump, our defense is hell. This is starting to turn into a top 10 defense. So if we can ever get the Seahawks and Russell Wilson to touch the early performance that they were putting out early in the season, then we talking about the best team in the league. So what I'm coming out is the way our defense is playing, I'm optimistic that if this offense can get right, we can become that championship team that we've been talking about since the beginning of the season. So that's my standpoint. Right. So I mean, listen, it all boils down to number 3. The defense is doing what they're doing. I mean, it's still crazy that I'm still seeing people saying fire Ken Norton like the past month. Like, if you wanted to say that early in the year, I'm fine. But like the way how this defense is playing, like you really can't blame Ken Norton or anybody on the defense for what's going on. So I mean,
have you seen what they've been saying about Russ? Trade Russ after one bad game. That is sad, bro.
That's the fan base. I mean, that's a lot. That's just the NFL fans. So listen. Every fan base has that type of have those type of fans that will say some stupid shit like that. I've seen people say trade away Aaron Rodgers, like prime Aaron Rodgers. I've seen people say trade away Peyton Manning in his prime. You just hear anything. So I'm not.
I mean, they did trade Peyton Manning though.
Yeah, they did good. The Colts did Peyton Manning dirty. I still to this day, I still can't forget the Colts how they treated Peyton Manning. But my thing is, I believe in number 3. Like I said, I'm gonna die on the Russell Wilson hill. So eventually, I expect Russell Wilson to play Russell Wilson like. I expect the offense to eventually click. And when this offense eventually click and Schottenheimer stops calling these dumbass play action bootlegs on 2nd and 5, and this defense is playing like how they are right now, I'm not scared of any team in the NFC. Like I've been thinking about it, and I was like, going to the playoffs, like I don't see a team that we can't beat. The Buccaneers are inconsistent. We can beat the Rams. Like I'm sorry.
Defense is boo boo.
We got a better quarterback. Like Jared Goff is not that good. I've been telling Rams fans this for the longest. If you get any type of pressure on Jared Goff and he can't work off the running game, Jared Goff is not that good. So we can beat the Rams. We were a Malik Turner drop pass away from beating the Packers last year. People forget about that last year. Malik Turner doesn't drop that ball. We head into the NFC Championship. So we can beat the Packers. Drew Brees and the Saints annually choke come playoff time. It's what they do, right? So I'm looking at it. It's like there's not one single team in the NFC that I'm like saying that we just can't beat, that we can't match up to.
That's true.
So
I agree.
So at the end of the day, it boils down to number 3 in this offense. If this offense can become elite like how it was early in the season, we're the best team in the NFC, in the NFL too. So
You
That's
you
my
mind if I
dog,
add a
man.
note? So I'm gonna go ahead and go off of what you're saying about Russell. So like there are crazy fans out there that will just jump off the bandwagon of a player because he does bad. How many game-winning drives does Russell Wilson have? I don't know off the top of my head, but I know he leads the league since 2012. Okay, and you know how hard it is to win games in the NFL. It is very hard to win games in the NFL. And Russell Wilson, he has put this team on his back some of these times. So for him to do that, it's really incredible. You can't win every game you play. It's just not gonna happen. You are gonna lose some games. Like you're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some. Russell Wilson has won majority of those games, and he finally loses one, and everybody starts like freaking out, like the world's over. The world's not over in Seattle. Okay, we're going against the Jets. They're 0-12. They just fired Greg Williams. This is a get right game. We can come and attack their ground game because they've let up 5.8 yards a carry on the ground and then 7.9 yards in the air. So if we can get this ground game established, then we can start passing more. We can start doing these play actions, these bootlegs, etc. So that way we can figure out what we want to run. So that way we can attack the Rams when it comes week 16 when Josh Gordon comes back. That is going to be such a great asset for us, especially how Tyler Lockett got hurt because after he got hurt, he did not look like Tyler Lockett. His route
Nah,
running was
yeah,
you're good,
Tyler
you're good.
Lockett kicked it open. Uh-uh. That's a fact. And same for the previous game. Like, I know Tyler Lockett wasn't injured, just to feed off your thought. But like Tyler Lockett's been in a slump as well. Like Tyler Lockett just hasn't been getting open like since what? Cardinals game? Like since the Cardinals game where Tyler Lockett went off for like what was it, 215 yards? Like Tyler Lockett just hasn't been the same. Like I don't got the stats in front of me. Like I'm not the biggest stat guy, but since we live right now, I'll bring up Tyler Lockett's stats. But like Tyler Lockett has not been the same.
Yeah, no, he
So
hasn't been the same. I think he only had like 25 yards against the Giants.
right.
What do you
So getting somebody like Flash is gonna be perfect.
What do you think the biggest asset to our defense is right now?
Uh, the best part about defense is easy our linebacking core. I've been saying it for the longest. We got the best linebacking core in the NFL.
I really like Jordan
It's not
Brooks
even
a lot.
close.
I really like
Thank
Jordan
you,
Brooks.
thank you. I'm not sure how long you've been following the channel, but I put a vid out when we drafted him, talking about like he was the best linebacker in the draft. And
Everybody was like
Ravens
talking about
fans
go get
laughed at
Patrick
me.
Queen.
Yeah, yeah, Patrick Queen, Isaiah Simmons, Kenneth Murray, but hasn't he been
Isaiah
better than all
Simmons
of
is
them?
a dog though. Yes, he has, but Isaiah Simmons is a dog. Like he is
I,
raw.
I, he's athletic. He's athletic, but I don't think he has the instincts like Jordan Brooks. Like this guy, Jordan Brooks, like he just reads the game differently. Like
He does.
the athleticism mixed with his intangibles, we know that Jordan Brooks is going to be the next Bobby Wagner. I just see it.
Yo, did
I,
you see that
I, I
play he dropped though? When against Colt McCoy, he had the ball right in his hands. I think it was the
yeah,
first drive. Threw it to him. I mean, they ended up going 4-and-out anyway, but like still, that's crazy. He almost got his first pick, man. I was
yeah,
really hoping it.
that's why he's a linebacker, not corner.
Right. You're right, exactly.
Facts.
Hey, Bobby be
Um,
catching them footballs.
yeah, Bobby White is the best middle linebacker of all time. I'm just convinced. Like Bobby Wagner is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Like, the funny thing is, since we're on that topic, speaking about linebackers and Bobby Wagner, um, so many people want to talk about who's the best linebacker, and it's like people just want to like name everybody over Bobby Wagner. Like people just don't appreciate Bobby Wagner. Like, am I just like not seeing things? Like, are we as the Seahawks fans just like crazy for saying Bobby Wagner's the best linebacker in the NFL? I'm hearing about Fred Warner. These dirty Niners fans wants to mention
Mm.
Fred Warner and Levante David and Devin White and Eric Kendricks. I'm like, do
Well,
you
wait,
not
hold on.
see
What
the
about
production?
there's one linebacker. I can't remember his name. It was 2012, 2013 is when Russell Wilson came into the league. Just a
Mhm.
straight monster. Navarro Bowman, dude.
Yeah,
That dude was raw. That dude was
that
legit
non
raw though.
that Niners linebacking core is like the scariest thing I've seen. NaVar Bowman paired up with Patrick Willis. I mean,
Yes. Yes, dude.
That Niners defense. I tell Niners fans this all the time. That Niners defense. If the LOB wasn't a thing, I'm gonna say something right now. As much
That
as
would
I
be
hate
the
the
LOB.
Niners, if the LOB wasn't a thing, people will be praising that Niners defense the defense of the decade. Because listen, they're rolling out Var Bowman, Patrick Willis, Justice Simmons.
Exactly.
They had a prime Alden Smith. You remember how much of a dog prime Alden Smith was? Like prime Alden Smith was a monster. They had what's his name, Ray McDonald up the middle. Who they had in the secondary? They had some goons in the secondary. They had Dante Whitney. They had Golston. They had some monsters. Now granted, the LOB is gonna be 10 times better because with the LOB we got the best defense of all time.
We
But
did
that
have the
Niners
best defense.
defense,
I mess with Brandon Meebane, Cliff
yeah,
Averill.
you, yeah, you're not gonna get a better defense than that, man. I mean, from Cliff Averill to Brendan Meebing to Chris Clemens to Michael Bennett, like just off like just the versatility, Brad Bryant. That's just the defensive line. Tony McDaniel. Then we get to that second level. You had a young Bobby, you had a young KJ, you got Super Bowl MVP Malcolm Smith, who's still getting busy. By the way, shout out to Malcolm Smith for doing this thing in Cleveland.
I
Shout out to Malcolm
can't
Smith.
believe we got rid of him, bro. Like that made me so mad. He won Super Bowl MVP and then they shipped him off to Oakland.
Yeah, but I can't blame Snyder. You know why I can't blame Snyder? It's because we had the best middle linebacker of the decade last year. So it's like Malcolm Smith or Bobby Wagner. You're gonna go with Bobby. Like I love Malcolm Smith, but
That's true.
even though he won Super Bowl MVP, we all know Bobby Wagner and KJ were both
Would you rather have
better.
KJ over Malcolm?
KJ still a monster, man. Like I'm not.
He
I know
is,
you're
he
a big.
is.
I know you're still a big stats guy. This guy KJ is ranked as a top 10 linebacker this year on PFF.
He has to be. Dude, no, he has to be. Have you seen the way he's been
KJ,
playing this year? He better make the
KJ
Pro Bowl.
He better. Definitely. Shout out to fact. And this guy KJ has been a monster, man. KJ's been a top 10 linebacker this year. And like, man, like you remember last year we were talking about getting rid of KJ. Big talk in Seahawks, Seahawks organization was get rid of KJ. He's getting old. But they've been amazing. So, overall, like I love how linebacking core is playing. I honestly like how secondary is playing. I do. I like how secondary is playing. We got the best safety duo in the NFL. This guy Quandre Diggs is back. This guy Quandre Diggs is back to his status last year. He's back to how he was playing last year.
He's got 4 picks now.
Yeah, we got Jamal Adams. He's starting to get healthy again.
And then like record.
Yeah, and it's like Shaquille Griffin. Like I know he gave up a few plays yesterday. Or not yesterday, but Sunday. But like he's still been solid out there. He's still been solid. Trey Flowers. I know how Seahawks fans feel about Trey Flowers. Let's not act like Trey Flowers hasn't played well the past month. I know he's injured now, but like Trey Flowers is legit our #1 corner for like a gut month.
All right, so hey, I have a question. So this is a contract year for Shaquille Griffin. What would we sign him back for? With the way he's playing right now, how are you signing him back?
I haven't spoke about
big that contract, enough. Medium.
I'm glad you brought that up. How can I say it? I wouldn't listen. Anything under 10 mil, I'm fine with. Anything under 10 mil, I'm fine with. If I'm John Snyder, anything under 10 mil, I'm fine with. I'm not paying Shaquille Griffin, Darius Slay money. I'm not paying him Darius Slay, Byron Jones money. Shaquille Griffin's fine. He's a solid #1. Then I think Shaquille Griffin as best is a #2 corner. I'm just keeping the full, but I think if the defense is clicking, he's a solid #1. But I think at best he's a #2. So anything under 10 mil, I would re-sign him. But if I'm Snyder, that's it. Like I'm not going over that. I'm not going over 10 mil because we can go in the draft. And I don't want to sound disrespectful because corner is a difficult position to replace. But like we can get somewhat of the same production in the first round with a top corner. So Shaquille Griffin's replaceable. Let me just put it like that. Shaquille Griffin is replaceable. I love me some Shaq, but his injury is like he gets injured, and plus like he's not a consistent number one. If you follow, so I can't
All
put
right.
him
So,
top right. I
all right.
won't break.
So there are two things that I do want to discuss. So I do want to discuss DK Metcalf, and then after we get done discussing DK Metcalf, I would love to talk about Jamal Adams if that's okay with you and how he changed his defense. But what I want to talk about DK Metcalf is uh, who do you think the top 5 catching passers are in the league? I'm not talking just wide receivers. I'm talking tight ends, uh, quarterbacks that catch the ball, anybody that running backs that catch anybody. Who are the top 5?
So you talking about like statistical, who I think is just the best.
The best that at catching the
Okay, yeah.
football and
All right.
getting yards.
So the best receiver in the league is DK. He's, if we talking this year, DK is the best receiver. After that, my boy Devontae Adams in Green Bay. Devontae Adams is a monster. Devontae Adams is a monster. Um,
Oh man,
that's
dude,
my
Tyreek Hill and Devontae Adams both have 13 receiving touchdowns. They have 13 receiving touchdowns. That's 4 more than the next closest.
since you brought up Tyreek Hill, I want to go in a bit. We're gonna probably disagree here because a lot of people disagree with me when it comes to this. But if Travis Kelsey is not on the Chiefs, how effective is Tyreek Hill really? I
I
I
agree.
like
I
like
100% agree with you.
like people like disagree with me when I have like
He's a gadget
5 to
guy.
10 receivers over Tyreek Hill. But like Travis Kelsey does all the dirty work. When it's time to move the chains, who does Pat Mahomes go to? He goes to Travis Kelsey. Like this guy Travis Kelsey, isn't he like second receiving yards?
He
Isn't he
is.
like
He
second
has.
receiving yards?
So
So it's like
listen
at
to
the end, yeah,
DK,
yeah, it's like
DK Metcalf. He has 1,119, and then Travis Kelsey has 1,114. DK's only got 5 yards more than him.
so it's like at the end of the day, this guy Travis Kelsey does all the dirty work underneath. So it's like at the end of the day, if Travis Kelsey's not doing the dirty work, everybody's just gonna guard Tyreek Hill over the top. Teams will literally be playing how they play us. We know how teams play us with the 2 deep safeties, and Schottenheimer hasn't found a way to uh,
Get
maneuver
a
his
tight
way.
end.
Yeah,
We need
so
a tight end.
teams will be playing the same way that they will play us with 2 deep safeties. But you know why teams don't play 2 deep safeties versus their Chiefs? It's because they got this stud and Travis Kelsey working underneath, moving the chains. So they got to keep a safety in the box to guard him, which that leaves Tyreek Hill one-on-one situations, and he uses his speed to get deep. So it's like at the end of the day, I look at DK, I look at Devontae Adams, IRD. I'm gonna mention Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs, DeAndre Hopkins. I look at all these receivers more superior than Tyreek Hill because they run all the routes. They get open pretty much just being the athletes that they are. So I just can't look at Tyreek Hill in the same light that I look at a DK Metcalf or Devontae Adams. Now, granted, Tyreek Hill, he's great. He's great. Like he got 13 receiving touchdowns. He gets busy over the top, but I just don't think he's more valuable than the receivers I just named. Like he's not Julio Jones. No, he's just not. He doesn't run the same route tree that he does. He just doesn't.
Hey,
But
shout out to RD. He's in the comments. He just commented Stephon Diggs, man.
yeah, RD is a Bills fan, so you know he's gonna pick up Stephon Diggs. He's a Bills fan. But what I will say is Stephon Diggs is balling. Stephon Diggs has been a stud this year. I've been right a lot about what I said in the all season, but one of the things I was wrong on is Stephon Diggs. I thought Stephon Diggs was gonna fail in Buffalo with Josh Allen, but I'll give props when props is due, man. Diggs is top 5, right?
Yep,
Diggs
no,
is top 5
he's
receiver.
top 5. He is. Yep, he's
So
he's in the top 5.
yeah, we all saw what stuff on Diggs and the Buffalo Bills receiving core did to our secondary a month ago. I mean, that game was ugly. How you feel about that? I mean, not to go back and remember some bad memories, but that loss is bad.
That
I
was the worst loss of the season besides the Giants. I feel like the Giants was number 1, and then the
Nah,
Bills were
nah.
the second worst.
I think their first Cardinals loss was worse. That first Cardinals loss,
Yeah,
yo,
that did sting. That did
because
sting.
my thing is, we had so many opportunities to win that game. Like the Bills game, we just didn't show up for it. Like I think we can both realize that we didn't show up for that game. Russell Wilson was turnover prone, and he was throwing mad picks all over the place.
Hey, we are 0-4 when Russell Wilson turns the ball over two or more times.
And that
0-4.
was and that was the same game that Quentin Dunbar played on that bum knee. Like Quentin Dunbar was out there limping on that game. Like Quentin Dunbar was slipping all over the place that game.
Hey, we should be getting Quentin Dunbar back really soon. So
Yeah, that'll be God. That'll be God with because we just put Trey Flowers on our. So yeah, we getting Quentin a fully healthy Quentin Dunbar. Quentin Dunbar is fully healthy. He should come in. He should produce as a number 2 corner. But
all right. So
yes,
now, hey, how are you feeling about Jamal Adams and what has he done for this defense coming from the Jets?
listen, Jamal Adams, he's been great. He struggled early in the season, but ever since he's been healthy, the past 2 to 3 weeks, he's been great. That Eagles game that was just showing why Jamal Adams was the best strong safety in the league. Now, now the people that have been following my channel for the longest, they know how I felt about the Jamal Adams trade when it happened. I was definitely against it just because it's the principle. I would never give up 2 first-round picks for a safety. That's just never been me. But there's no denying when Jamal Adams, when Perez is fully healthy, he's the best safety in the game. I just think he needs to become more consistent when it comes on third down. Like Jamal Adams, he struggles on third down. Like he gave up
Right.
2 receptions to Evan Ingram versus the Giants on crucial third down plays.
How many
So
games has he played? 8?
that sounds about right because we go into week 14, right? So
All right. So, hey, listen to this, bro. So Jamal Adams in 8 games, not even a full season, he's already beaten the DB record. He's already beaten the DB record for most sacks in a game.
Yeah, he got 7, right?
My bad. Yep, 7.5.
Yeah, like Jamal Adams is a monster. Y'all can call Prez Blitz Boy as much as y'all want, but 7.5 sacks is 7.5 sacks. I say what y'all want to say.
He's leading the Seahawks right now, man. No other Seahawk has more than that.
Who? Because Vincent Maiola got 4? Vincent Maiola
got Carlos Dunlap has 4.5.
Yeah, man. But overall, I feel good about the defense, man. Like I really do. I feel good about the defense. There's not a negative I can say about the defense. As long as our run defense doesn't play how it did versus the Giants, our run defense is usually great. Before, I'm not sure what the stats after the Giants game, but before the Giants game, we had a top 5 run game. We got run defenders all over the team, all over the defense. So it's at the end of the day, I feel good about this defense. If the offense can just play how it usually is, and this can be the elite offense how it's supposed to is. If Russell Wilson can play the best quarterback like how he's supposed to be, he should be the favorite come out the NFC. So overall, I felt better about it now because I got trust in Russell Wilson to play at Russell Wilson. That's why I'm at with it. I trust in Russell Wilson to play at Russell Wilson, and his defense is getting hot at the right time. Can we both agree on that?
We know we definitely can agree on that, but Russell Wilson is cooling down. This is an odd season because Russell Wilson, the last 3 seasons, he has started out really hard. I mean, really hot. So I hate to say this, but I don't know if you watch First Take. But Willie, do you know Willie? Willie, he was talking about how Russell Wilson starts out really, really hot and then cools off really, really fast at the ending of the season. And the last 2 seasons prior to this season, I did not see that. But this season, the last 4 games, it's looking like Russell Wilson is cooling down, and I don't know if it's the play calling from Shoddy. I don't know if it's Pete, but we need to figure it out, and we need to turn it around because if we keep playing ball like this and we keep turning the ball over, Russell Wilson, he fumbled the ball, and that is not on the center. That was on him.
No,
he just flat out dropped it. And when the interception was not on him, that was on Chris Carson because he dropped it. But that's going to go on his stat record, not Chris Carson's. So it's just like I need to see a little bit more out of Russell Wilson. The defense, I'm happy with the defense. Like that Cardinals game, we sacked Kyler Murray 3 times. Since week 8, we have the most sacks in the season. I mean, we have the most out of all teams since week 8. So,
Word. Two things on that. I agree with you, what you said about it. Two things on that. Shout out to X0 SA. Hope I say your name right. He said the DB record is 8 sacks.
yeah, no, he's right.
At 7.5. Can y'all tell me who had 8 sacks? Was it in the secondary? If you can, I appreciate that. But back to what you were saying,
It
man.
was Adrian.
So
It was a safety, Adrian Wilson.
Adrian Wilson.
It was in 2005. He played for the Cardinals.
Yeah, Adrian. Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay. And then back to what we were saying. Listen, when you're talking about who the blame needs to be on, because you mentioned Shia Ahmed and Russell Wilson, like what's wrong with the offense. How I look at it is it's 50% Russ, because he's a quarterback. He's a franchise quarterback. We pay him $35 million. He has to play by that. I would put the other 30% on Shia Ahmed, but Shadi hasn't adjusted to defenses playing 2 deep safeties. He just hasn't called enough underneath routes for Russell Wilson, even though they've been there. Russell Wilson has had a few underneath routes, but he hasn't looked for him. He's been looking for the knockout punch, which is a deep post to Talaka or a deep post to DK. And I'll put the other 20% on Pete Carroll, because there's been some situations where Pete Carroll could have stopped the bleeding on, a few plays, but he didn't make the right play call. Or he didn't put Russell Wilson in the right decision to do the damage. So that's where I'm at with it. But, overall, man, Russ, how I'm looking at it is, if I could be positive, I'd rather have Russell Wilson go through the slump that he's in right now than week 16 or week 17, right?
Very true. Very true.
So,
I would want that too.
If Russ can get his shit right and he can fix, because, like, listen, we play the Jets, right? We play the Jets.
Who do you think who has a better defense, the Rams or the Giants?
I would probably go with the Rams. You know why? I'd probably go with the Rams?
Jalen Ramsey.
Just because they got the superstars. And sometimes superstars can just carry your defense. Rams fans swear up and down that your defense is like the greatest defense of all time, but like you take Aaron Donald or Jalen Ramsey off that defense, that's a bottom 20 defense. I know Darius Williams, oh my goodness, he's this next zone corner that's a stud, but it's like if he doesn't have Jalen Ramsey on the opposite side, like how good is Darius Williams? How good are these other pass rushes if Aaron Donald's not getting triple teamed? So it's like at the end of the day, I would just go off the Rams because of the superstars. But that Giants defense, they play hard, man. They do. They play hard.
Statistically speaking, they are number 2 in the league.
Who, the Rams or the Giants? I think that's
the Giants. The Giants.
Giants?
Yes. They've only allowed 200 yards per game.
Yeah, listen, man. Listen, there's still no excuse for the game. Listen, as great as your defense is, I still expect Russell Wilson to win the game. Like, don't get it twisted. But that's a damn good defense. It is. But overall, we play the Jets. That should be. Listen, if the game isn't won by 30 points, I don't know what to tell it. I don't know what to tell our Seahawks fans. I really don't.
If we lose, what do we tell the Seahawks?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all, look forward to 2021. That's exactly what I'm gonna tell y'all. If shit goes wrong, I don't even want to speak into existence, but somehow, some way, we get the Jets their first win this season. I'm gonna tell all Seahawks fans look forward to 2021.
If we lose to the Jets, just remember this: the Patriots lost to the I think the 0-14 or the 1-14 Miami Dolphins, and still won the Super Bowl.
Hawks family. Listen, I'm messing with you, but you so optimistic, bro. You so optimistic and I mess with you with that. But I'm sorry, bro. We lose to the Jets. We lose to the Jets. That's the season. That's the season, bro. That's the season. That's the season. But there, yo, like I said, the rest of our schedule are all winnable games. If you go through the schedule, we're all favored in every single game. Which game are we not favored? The Bills just end the Niners season. So when it comes week 17, the Niners should be throwing their season away. They're gonna be getting ready for 2021. We shouldn't let golf and the Rams sweep us. Right? We play the worst team in the league this Sunday.
The
And then
worst.
we play Alex Smith and the Redskins next week. Those are all games we're gonna be favored in. So it's like at the end of the day, it's Russ, get your shit right. Russ, get your shit right. I mean, that's what I'm at with it. Defense is doing what they need to do. Ken Norton is getting this defense. Pete Carroll and Ken Norton getting this defense right. Offensive line is playing good enough. We eventually gonna get Josh Gordon back in the lineup. Russ, get your shit right. Call better plays. Stop calling them play action bootlegs on second down.
What is easier to fix in the ending of the season, offense or defense?
Offense, you know why? You know why? It's because we got a Hall of Fame quarterback. That's
Exactly.
Why.
Like it's so much harder to stop a team. Like defense wins championships, bro. Like everybody's like, oh, it's an offensive league. It's an offensive league. Yeah, I mean, yes, it is an offensive league. But look over at the Steelers. I know they're coming off of a loss, and they haven't played any real tough opponents besides the Ravens and the Browns, and which are really good teams, by the way. But like that defense has carried them the entire season. Big Ben, they're not helping this offense. He's not doing anything. So like you got to think, like if a defense can make a team go 11-0, what can they do in the postseason?
And that's my thing, man. Like, listen, like I said earlier in the stream, which by the way, I see that there's a lot of people in the stream. Y'all make sure you hit that like button. Y'all make sure y'all sell it to the Hawks family, man. Like I said, man, this is one of the best young content creators, Seahawks fans. You guys make sure y'all check them out. Real talk. But listen, like back to the topic, man. Like, there's not a team in the NFC I'm scared of, man. There's really not. There's not a team in the NFC like, damn, we just can't beat, man. Like, I just record my power rankings, right? Spoiler. I had the Packers as the number one team in the league.
You put the Packers over the Chiefs?
Yeah, because Aaron Rodgers is playing spectacular. I'm just
he does have 36 touchdowns on the season.
He got 36 touchdowns, only 4 picks. I'm just at the point where Aaron Rodgers is winning MVP. So I got
the Packers MVP.
Yeah, so it's like at the end, they're like I'm not scared of the Packers. We should have beat the Packers last year. Malik Turner had any type of hands. We had to the NFC Championship. Take on the Niners and we'll beat the Niners because we weren't going to lose back-to-back games versus the Niners. That just wasn't going to happen.
I have a hot take. Russell Wilson will pass 40 he will pass 40 touchdowns in his career this season. He'll get 40 touchdowns.
Yeah, he should. Well, Russell Wilson got 32. So my thing is
to get 2 each game for the season.
If Russ can get his shit right this week, he should have like 5 touchdowns versus the Jets. I mean, Derek Carr. But did you see what Darren Waller and Derek Carr did to that Jets defense? Like, come on, like the Jets are. This is how bad the Jets defense is. They starting a corner named Lamar Jackson. They starting some corner named Lamar Jackson. Like, who is Lamar Jackson? Listen, don't need Lamar Jackson. I know he plays in Baltimore.
I was about to say, man, do you got the names confused or something?
Nah, they got a corner. The number one corner is some guy named Lamar Jackson. So it's like at the end of the day, Russ should have like 5 touchdowns versus the Jets. And honestly, like Russ should pick apart every single defense if he gets his shit right. Like I'm at the point where it's like, Russ, just show me who you're going to be for the rest of the year. Are you going to be the early season Russell Wilson, or are we talking about let Russ cook and let him do his thing? Are you going to be this Russell Wilson that we've seen for the past month and a half that just can't get his head out of his ass? Like, I just don't know what to say. But
I mean, I'm totally fine with Russell Wilson just being a game manager, bro. I want them to run the ball. Like, if we can just control the ball, we will win. Because our defense makes so many turnovers. We have a turnover machine defense. Like, we will take the ball. They feed me. You know what I'm saying? That's all our ball hawking defense. It's looking like the LOB of the old age. You just got to give them time to work together. You know, like look at everybody in the media. Like they're like, oh, this defense is the worst defense historically speaking, and they're talking all this stuff. But like, look at our defense before it was good. Before LOB, everybody was like, look, Peter Schrager. He said, why would you draft players like that? He gave us an F in the draft. And then they all counted us out. And what happened? Our defense turned around, became top 10, then became number 1.
Yeah, that's the funniest thing ever, man. Like the 2012 draft, that draft is so funny. These people gave us F's and like said that was the worst draft in NFL history. But that's honestly the greatest draft in NFL history. We had two Hall of Fame, two first ballot Hall of Fame players came from that same draft. I mean, isn't that funny? Isn't that
Exactly. No, I
funny?
think we had 3. I think we had 3.
Yeah, because we drafted Bruce Irvin in the first pick.
Exactly.
We had B-Wag came in that draft, and we drafted Russ in the third round. That's the greatest draft of all time.
Didn't we get Richard too with Earl?
No, Richard was in Richard
13?
got drafted in 2011, and Earl was
2011.
drafted in 2010.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, Earl was a little bit older than but people.
Right.
Yeah, Earl's been with the team for the longest, man. But
You like Jamal better than Earl?
they play two different positions. I like Jamal Adams is more of a box safety. Like if we need to compare Jamal Adams to anybody, it's Cam Chancellor. I like him and Cam Chancellor play like the same role, and like I can't. I like Jamal Adams. I like Cam Chancellor's my guy. I like Cam Chancellor.
Dude. He was a hitter.
Yeah, Cam Chancellor's legit probably my favorite Seahawks player of all time. Like. I really think people underrate Cam Chancellor. I think Cam Chancellor was just as good as Troy Polamalu. Like people speak about the best strong safeties of like the past 20 years. Like Cam Chancellor's name needs to be brought up first with Troy Polamalu. So it's like at the end of the day, I want to see Jamal Adams like Cam Chancellor. Like I think people forget how much of a goon Cam Chancellor is. Like not only did he hit harder than anybody in the league, he could cover as well. Like this guy, Cam Chancellor, was a legit 6'4", 235, and will like guard your favorite tight end.
See, hey, the guy in the comments, Tony, he has a valid point. He said Earl was a better range, but Jamal is everywhere for a strong safety, dude. Hey, dude, Jamal Adams. I don't know if you've seen that play for when they had that really long run against us in the defense. And Jamal Adams was on the left side of the field and just ran all the way to the right side and tackled them before they got that touchdown.
Yeah, that was a beautiful move. My thing is that makes sense. Like shout out to Tony M for saying that because Earl was a free safety. Earl was a free safety. Earl is like the definition of a pure deep free safety. That's what Earl was. Earl Thomas is Ed Reed. Jamal Adams is like your Troy Polamalu, your Cam Chancellor, your Harrison Smiths. Your boy Jamal Adams, he's gonna do a lot of his damage like close to the line of scrimmage. But what I see from Jamal Adams is he got the potential to do everything, but like as much as Jamal plays at the line of scrimmage, he legit got 4.4 speed. Like Jamal Adams can run. Like, he can run. But Jamal Adams, I just think he needs to get a little bit used to the scheme of the back end of the secondary. Like Jamal Adams has been great so far at the line of scrimmage. I just think he needs to work more and get a little bit more consistent on the back end or our secondary. Once he clicks more with Quandre Diggs on the back end and Shaq, and once we get Quentin Dunbar back, I think our defense and our secondary is going to be top notch as well. Yeah, and shout out to Tony M, man. Yeah, hashtag 31, man. Hashtag 31. I'm still sick that they didn't retire Cam Chancellor jersey, man.
I know what? Why?
Like, bro, like I'm sorry. This guy DJ Dallas, he doesn't deserve number 31. I'm sorry.
He did call Cam up and he did ask if it was cool with Cam. So,
but Cam is a nice guy. He's a nice guy. Like Cam is not gonna turn down. Like Cam Chancellor's not a bully. As mean as he was on the field, like Cam Chancellor's a nice guy. He's not gonna let he's not gonna let somebody not rock his jersey. So I just don't know. I think everybody in LLB. I think the fact that Sherm, like I get it, Sherm played with the Niners. He's still playing with the Niners right now. So we can't retire his jersey. But like Cam, Earl Thomas, I think eventually they need to get the jersey.
So you think we will retire his jersey though?
Who, Sherm?
Yep.
as a Niners haters, we all, as much as we hate the Niners, yeah, he has to because he was the best corner of the decade.
Bro,
He was the best.
no one tested him. And then when Aaron Rodgers did test him, he got picked off.
Got picked off. Yeah, Sherman was easily the best corner of the decade. So yeah, you got to retire Sherman jersey. He's the top 10 corner of all time. He's the best cover 3 zone corner of all time. People always love when I debate Richard Sherman and Darrelle Revis. Everybody loves the Sherman and Darrelle Revis debate. One thing is they total different corners. Like they play totally different. Like Sherman did a lot of his damage off coverage, like away from the line of scrimmage. Darrelle Revis was a man-to-man press corner. How I like to say it when people compare Darrelle Revis and Sherman because they from the same era is Sherman is the best cover 3 zone corner I ever seen. Darrelle Revis is the best man-to-man press corner I ever seen. So it's like choose who you want. Choose who you want. That's what I'm at.
Yeah, I mean either one's great. They're both Hall of Famers.
Yeah, like I said, I think those are the 2 top. Like I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like I know everybody looks at Deion Sanders as the best corner of all time, but I think Richard Sherman was a better zone corner than Deion Sanders. And I know for sure Darrelle Revis is a better man-to-man corner than Deion Sanders. So like I get it. Deion Sanders, he was great for ESPN. Like he was great all-time athlete. But like,
hey, what do we have to do to win this? What do we have to do to win this game against the Jets? What is our 3 keys to win?
Show up with a post. I'm gonna keep it a buck. There's nothing to get like. There's no like real preview, no in-depth analysis you really need to get into. We just need to show a post. I mean, for real, this Jets team don't want to win. Like that's the funny part about this Jets team. They don't want to win. Like they're legit trying to go 0-16. So there's no excuse. There's no excuse to lose this game. All we gotta say is show up with a post. Russell Wilson, be Russell Wilson. Don't turn the ball over. Defense play how you've been playing. We should win this game by 30 points. I mean, like, I'm gonna eventually do my preview because I have to. But like, this is one of those games where I shouldn't even have to do a preview going into this game. We should just show up.
Exactly. So, what are you thinking the score's going to be? It's getting interesting, huh?
What I want to see is I want to see Russ use this as a confidence game because I think Russ needs to get his confidence right. As great as Russell Wilson is, I think he needs to get his confidence right. I want to see Russ go and throw for 5 touchdowns. I do.
I want to see him throw.
After that Giants game, I said I'm done guaranteeing Russell Wilson having monster games. But this is a game where Russell Wilson should have 5 touchdowns.
Hot take: Russell Wilson breaks a single touchdown game record.
I would love it. Well, what's the single touchdown? Is it 7? It's 7, right?
Yep, it's 7. So if he got 8, he owns the record.
Should.
That would put him on pace to beat Peyton Manning's record again.
Facts.
That would be crazy, bro.
But overall, man, like how I'm looking at it is, as long as we show up with a post, we should win this game by 30 points. That's what I'm at. This is the worst team in the league. Honestly, this is the worst team I've ever seen. I can't name a team worse than this Jets team. Like, listen, I would pick the 2017 Browns over this Jets team. That's what I'm at. I'll pick the 2017 Browns over the Jets team. Like, this Jets team is awful. Sam Darnold.
Who was the quarterback? Was that Johnny Manziel?
I don't even know what the Browns. It was like a bunch of. At one point, they had Deshaun. What's his name? Deshaun Kaiser. I think that's who his name was. Deshaun. It was some bum. Kaiser. That's a good point. If anybody in the chat remembers who the 2017 Cleveland Browns quarterback was, I know they have multiple quarterbacks. but I think Kaiser was one of them. And then they brought in some bum named was it Garrett Gilbert? I don't even know. It was just somebody. It was somebody. Yeah, Drew Garcia says Deshaun Kaiser. Yeah, yeah, I know he started. Yeah, that's what I thought started mostly. Yeah, that Browns team was awful. But then they still had Miles Garrett. They still had Miles Garrett. They still had what's the dude name? They had
They had Brock Osweiler as well.
yeah, Brock Osweiler. That's what they had as well.
Yep.
My goodness.
They also had Cody Keesler, Josh McCown.
Yeah, that's
Robert,
all.
they had Robert Griffin III.
Yeah, he played in he played in 2016. Sean, listen, I know this might not be funny. This might be a little sensitive to most people, but seeing RG3 like mess up his hamstring running out of bounds is like the most RG3 shit you can think of. Like RG3 like ruptured his hamstring running out of bounds a week ago versus it still is that's the most RG3 you can think of.
Right.
Yeah, man. I see we got some more people in the comment section. Y'all make sure you hit that like button. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the Hawks family, man. It's a great content. Um, do you think Josh Gordon will help us get back to how we should play? Yes, yes. Shout out to Ralphie Davis. Excuse me.
I'm so
Uh,
happy you read that comment too. I was waiting for it, man. I was like,
listen,
let's talk about it.
Flash is going to do something that we don't have consistent on this offense, and
And
that
that's
is
two Twin
move the
Towers.
chains. Move the chains. It's as simple as that. Everything about offense is just big play, big play, big play, knockout punch, and it freezes up the offense. That's why we get so many second and longs. So have you noticed on second down when Schottenheimer runs all these play action bootlegs, it usually ends up to sacks. That's usually when Russell Wilson gets sacks because he's holding on to the ball too much and he's not going through his progressions because he's looking for DK and Tyler Lockett down the field. That's usually when the sacks come. Getting somebody like Josh Gordon who can run a quick slant, that can run a quick out, that can move the chains, can keep this offense more efficient. That's our problem with the offense. We settling for third and longs. I like every single drive feels like we have like a third and 13, a third and 15, and Russell Wilson has to work some magic to convert that shit. You can't do that consistently. That's not gonna work complete all the time. So getting a flash that can move the chains and be a red zone threat and has consistent hands to go over the middle and catch contested balls is just
All
gonna
right.
make this more. It's gonna make this offense more dynamic.
I want to comment on what you just said. Catch more consistent balls. All right, so DK he has 98 targets and he's only caught 63 of the balls. Okay, so he is a monster. Don't get me wrong. DK is a monster, and he will catch almost everything that you throw him. But like there are balls that he drops, like the one in the back of the end zone when it hit him right in the hands and it hit him in the face. And then the one in the back of the end zone where he dropped the ball against the Eagles and just fell. I mean, yes, he had a monster game that game, but Josh Gordon, he's gonna bring us something that we don't have. Someone that's going to catch the ball no matter how hard the catch is. He is going to catch the ball. Speaking of the Carolina game from last year when Rush just chucked up that 50-yard pass, it was on his fingertips and he still caught the ball. See, DK, he doesn't have better hands than Josh Gordon, but he's more physical. DK Metcalf, he's 6'4", 229. Josh Gordon, he's 6'3", 225. So they're basically the same person. If Josh Gordon did not get in all the trouble that he did, and he did not do like all the substance abuses, and he wasn't suspended for 5 times out of his 8-year career, he would look like DK Metcalf. He is what DK Metcalf is. You know what I'm saying? They are basically the same person, but Josh Gordon just has better hands.
Yeah, I like what you brought up. Listen, I love DK. I think he's the best receiver in the league. But if there was one flaw in this game, is he has too many drops. Even the Giants game, even the last game, he dropped the ball like right in the end zone. Now, granted, Russell Wilson could have threw a better ball because that would have been a touchdown. Russell Wilson could have threw a better ball in that post route, but it's still touching hands. So it's like at the end of the day, DK has his drops, but listen, bringing in somebody like Josh Gordon is just gonna transform this offense. Like people forget, Josh Gordon, if he never got suspended, he would have been a Hall of Fame receiver. This guy in 2013, right? This guy in 2013 was catching balls from bums like Jason Campbell and Brandon Whedon and had, what was it, 1,646 yards,
Right.
9 tubs in 14 games. I mean, this guy Josh Gordon is great. Like he's great when he's on the field. Even in that short stint in New England, I remember in 2018 when he played for New England for like what was it, 8 games or whatnot.
And then they put
He
him on
was
waivers.
yeah, he was legit their best receiver in 2018. Before Josh Gordon got suspended again, he was the best receiver on that team. He was Tom Brady's favorite target. So it's like at the end of the day, I seen how good Josh Gordon can be. He had good chemistry with Russell Wilson last year. People swear up and down that Josh Gordon is washed. They swear that Flash is washed. But like how you mentioned that Carolina game last year, didn't he fly down the field? That was
He
a
did.
50-yard. That was a 50-yard bomb. He
He
showed
didn't
that
show no signs of slowing down.
he showed that he still has wills. So he can work the quick game. He can convert on third downs. He can be a red zone threat. And guess what? He can still get down the field. This is a perfect situation. We can move Tyler Lockett back into the inside where his natural position is. I think Tyler Lockett, as much as I like Tyler Lockett, he's a natural slot receiver. He's a natural slot receiver. So having Josh Gordon and DK on the opposite side is just going to make this offense more dynamic. Having Josh Gordon uh, and DK on the outside, I mean, for real, imagine game planning for DK and Josh Gordon. I mean, well, how many secondaries have the athleticism and the physical toughness to match up with DK and Flash? And then you got to worry about
Exactly.
talking inside. So
I think that's a perfect. I think that's a perfect wide receiver corpse right there. I think once Josh Gordon comes back, we will have the best wide receiving corpse.
yeah,
But
fact.
I just don't see. So when Josh Gordon does come back in Week 16, I don't see him being used right away. So Seahawks fans, please don't get your hopes up.
Well,
He hasn't played in over a year.
Well, I think this is where we disagree. I actually think he gets used a lot that game, and the reason why is he's not. How can I say? He's been in the system for the long. He's seen how the Seahawks run their offense. He's seen how Shoddy and Russell Wilson run their
Well,
offense.
I don't know if you watch post conferences, but or press conferences, but Shadi did say there's a lot that we have to catch him up on because yes, he has been with us for over a year, but he hasn't been able to come to our facility and he hasn't been able to practice with us. See, I think when he does play, he's gonna get some targets. He's gonna play in the Rams game. We need him to play. I think he's gonna get maybe 2-3 targets. But look at DK. DK Metcalf's a monster, and we only target him between 8 and 9 times a game. Tyler Lockett, we target him around 10 to 12 targets a game. And if DK Metcalf's not doing good, then it's Tyler Lockett. If it's not Tyler Lockett, then it's DK Metcalf. And it's not DK. And it's just back and forth. Now that we have Josh Gordon, if both our number one and number 2 receivers are locked down, Josh Gordon's going to be that guy that can move the chains, like you were saying.
Yeah, like I said, that's fair enough. Like, you know what? That probably makes sense with the COVID going on. He hasn't had enough time to work in the facility. That makes a lot of sense. But all we really need for him to do in Week 16 is to be a red zone threat and work on third down. That would be enough.
That's all we need.
When we played the Rams the first game, they were bracketing DK Metcalf. They were follow Jalen Ramsey on DK. And Tyler Lockett just can't get open and consistent enough. You add a flash to that wrinkle. Now you asking Troy Hill. You asking Troy Hill to guard Josh Gordon on third down. I like my chances on that. I really do. I like my chances when it comes to that.
I do too.
So it's like at the end of the day, Josh Gordon just adds an extra mismatch problem to opposing defenses that we just didn't have. As much as David Moore has played solid, like David Moore's been solid, but he's inconsistent. Like I said, David Moore had a 3-catch -6 receiving yards, something crazy like that.
Yeah, and he still had a touchdown.
So it's like at the end of the day, we can't rely on David Moore to be our number 2 receiver.
Yeah, he's too inconsistent. He has good games and he has bad games. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So, at the end of the day, man, I like what's going on when it comes to the Seahawks offense. Like I said, comes down number 3. We're getting Josh Gordon back. Offensive line, as much as our offensive line has got bashed for the past few years, this is the best offensive line that Russell Wilson's probably ever had. Especially when Brendan Shell is healthy, especially when Ethan Poaches is healthy. This is the best offensive line that Russell Wilson's ever had.
It
This
is.
guy,
It's true. It's true. It's making him sloppy almost.
and this guy, Dwayne Brown, he's probably the most underrated left tackle in the league. I mean, so many people bring up best tackles and best offensive linemen. My man Dwayne Brown gets no love. I like this guy. Dwayne Brown should easily be in a Pro Bowl. Like he got talent. Damian Lewis, I know he's a rookie, but he's been like the best run blocker in the NFL. So it's like at the end of the day, he's got a really good offensive line. He's getting his weapons back. Chris Carson is fully healthy again. Well, he's not fully healthy, but he's healthy enough to play. So it's like at the end of the day, it comes down to number 3. It comes down to Schottenheimer calling better plays. And if we can get that, we could be hosting the NFC come early February.
So see, like this too. So say we do become the 6th seed and we have to play the 1st seed, and we beat the 1st seed, and we actually take over the 1st seed. So it would run through us. So would you rather be the 6th seed or would you rather be the 3rd seed?
I want the listen. I want that home game. I want the number 1 spot in the West. I don't want to lose the division to the Rams.
I don't want to lose the division either. I definitely do not.
Listen, it's always easier to get that one home game. Because my thing is, if we get that number 3 seed, right? Because that's the best possibility we're going to have. Because, like I said, the last time we talked, I don't think the Packers are going to lose another game.
I don't either.
The Saints are 10-2, so like at the worst, they go 13-3.
My bad. They're 10-3.
Oh, the Saints are 10-3.
Are they 10-2?
I want to say they're 10-2.
Wait, they are 10-2. You're right. They are 10-2.
They're 10-2.
They are 10-2.
So it's like at the end of the day, at best, maybe they lose another game because I know they play the Chiefs coming up, so maybe they lose that game, especially if Breeze not there. But at the worst, they're 13-3. So at the end of the day, we're going to sell for the 3rd seed. I'd rather have that home game in the 1st round versus what? We'll be playing the 6th seed, so we'll be probably playing either the Bucks or the Rams. I'd rather have that home game. I'd rather have that comfortability where we in Seattle, we know where we are. Listen, it's always easier to win at home than it is to go to LA or to go to Green Bay to win. It's always easier to play your whole team.
Well, we are going to have to go on the road at some point.
Yeah. Listen, like I said, I like my chances, man. Like I said, there's no NFC team where I look like, damn, they just so much superior than the Seahawks. Like, I just don't, man. I just don't. Like, maybe we don't see eye to eye when it comes to that, but, like, I just don't see any other team in the NFC that just, like.
The only team that I am worried about in the NFC is the Rams. And that's just because of how well they know us and how well they match up with us.
And honestly, that's probably true. Because they have the most experience versus us.
Exactly.
Listen, the Rams built their defense to contain us. Literally. They got a number 1 corner to contain DK Metcalf. They went out and got Darius Williams to contain Ty Lockett. At the end of the day, they built their team around us. But like I said, the Rams got their holes. And, like, I'm not scared of golf. I'm just not, like, especially.
I'm not scared of golf either.
The way our defense is playing, I'm not scared of golf. That, like, as much as people shit on Todd Gurley, that 2018 Rams team was way more explosive than what they were this year. I know the Rams think that they got that new running back in Cam Akers, but I don't care how y'all feel about Cam Akers. Cam Akers is in 2017, 2018 Todd Gurley. So we don't got to worry about that dynamic anymore. As long as we can get pressure on golf and we can contain those receivers, we can hold the Rams to 15, 20 points. We held the Rams to 23 points the last time we played them. And Russell Wilson was struggling. He was turning the ball over. And we held that explosive, dynamic offense to 23 points. And that's when the offense was in the slump because we played the Rams right after we played the Bills. That was right after the Bills game. That was probably our worst defensive show in the entire year. So
I agree with that.
Like at the end of the day, I'm not worried about golf. I'm not worried about the Rams. but they probably have the best shot to beat us in the playoffs because they have the most, like you said, they have the most experience, the most familiarity versus us.
I'm
So
not worried about the Saints either. Their defense
yeah,
is real, but you gotta think that offense, all they can do is short passing and stuff like that. The Saints, they've made this the playoffs the last 4 seasons, and they're gonna make it this year too as well. But they always get flabbergasted in the playoffs. I mean, like look last year, the Minnesota Vikings, they beat them. So
yeah, like I said, man, like listen, nobody's worried about 41-year-old Drew Brees come
exactly,
January. Come January, Drew Brees know what time it is, man. Like well, like you said, the Saints been in the playoffs for what the past 4 years. I haven't done nothing. It's like no, I'm not worried. Like listen, I'm just put it like this.
Vikings are a
So
sleeper.
when's the last time has Drew Brees had a good playoff game? I just leave it right there. When's the last time Drew Brees had a good
2000.
playoff
It was like 2012 when he won it.
time? Facts. So at the end of the day, man, it's like there's no team you're gonna see I'm worried about, man. So like if Russell Wilson gets shit right and this defense can play consistent how we've been playing, I really don't see a team that we can't beat. You know what? Let me say something. If there was any team that I need to be worried about at the NFC, as strange as it might sound, it will probably be the Buccaneers. And let me say why. As bad as the Buccaneers have been, if
They have
Tom
Tom
Brady,
Brady.
if Tom Brady and Bruce Arians can ever get their shit right and see eye to eye with the talent that they have, they're probably the closest. They probably got the best shot to beat us. Now, granted, their defense has been the slump, but if Todd Bowles can get that defense playing how they were earlier this season, that's probably the scariest team that I would want to play, honestly.
Well,
But then
ANF,
again, but
I do have to be going here shortly. I'll probably
yeah,
stay
I know,
for
yeah, I
another
know you
like
still got to
three
go to work.
minutes. Yeah, I do got to go to work. I really appreciate you letting me stay up on the stream with you. I do want to make some more videos with you if that's cool. Appreciate everybody that's in the comments for these comments. Just talking about football, I love it. So if you want to check out my channel, I will be coming out with more content. I get more studio equipment soon. And NF, you have a great day. All right, brother.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man. Appreciate you coming on. And all of y'all, before my man Hawks from me heads up, I got the link in the description, man. I got his channel link in the description. Y'all make sure y'all sub up to him, man. Y'all make sure y'all sub up to him. Make sure y'all show him some love. He's a new content creator, Seahawks fans. He's one of the best young content creators out. He's gonna be putting out great content for the upcoming future. Y'all make sure y'all check him out, man. Seahawks, listen, man. The Seahawks content creators, we blowing up, man. We got Brennan Nelson, Sam Darden, Famous. You know the OG Nordcam always gets busy. At the end of the day, man, we on the up and up. Simple as that. But we about to head out.
Exactly.
Word, man. But we about to head out. Y'all have a good rest of the day, man. Simple
All
as
right.
that.
All right. Stay blessed.
Word. Y'all take it easy. Is there anything y'all want to say before I head out? Anything I want to say before I head out? Man. Well, I will say this, man. I got my power rankings coming out soon. Y'all make sure y'all check that out. Got my power rankings coming up soon. And y'all make sure y'all check that out. Y'all have your notifications on. And I'll be hitting y'all up with more vids later on. But I see the phenomenal crew later, man. Y'all stay blessed.